Breaking news coming in, viewers. Donald Trump, US President Donald Trump's first statement says Iran will never rebuild its nuclear program. Trump says Israel and Iran both violated the ceasefire. Now, Trump has asked about Israel-Iran truce, where he says, I don't think so. Trump said in a conversation with reporters before departure for NATO summit in The Hague that both Israel and Iran violated the ceasefire, noted that he is not pleased that Israel announced it would attack Iran after accepting the ceasefire. So there you have US President Donald Trump saying he is not pleased with the way Israel and Iran behaved, as to how both of them did not abide by the mediation that the United States said that it propelled between the two countries. This is the statement coming in from US President Donald Trump, and this is a very big statement coming in, viewers, because just a couple of hours after it was announced that there's going to be ceasefire between the two countries, we saw a barrage of missiles that were launched from the side of Iran towards southern Israel. There were sirens blazing all around southern Israel. There was an attack as well in the residential areas, which also claimed 5 civilian lives, to which the IDF chief had given a very strong statement that Tehran should be ready, and it should be ready to tremble, because they have spoken to their political top rung as well and are ready to attack. And now Trump's first statement, he's saying both Iran and Israel have violated the ceasefire. He is not pleased. And as far as Iran is concerned, he's saying that they do not have a nuclear program anymore. They will never be able to rebuild their nuclear program. That is what Donald Trump is saying. But remember, Iran had made it abundantly clear that there were no radiations, and what our sources from multiple platforms have apprised us is that there was a lot of commotion there at the Fordo site, as they had anticipated this attack. Joining us live on this broadcast is our senior executive editor, Abhishek Kapoor. Abhishek, Trump has finally spoken. He's saying he's not pleased, but the point here, the moot point is, nobody is listening to Trump, no matter how much he tries.
See, he's not pleased, and he shouldn't be pleased, because he has this bad habit of jumping the gun. Also, in this instance, like in the case of Operation Sindoor, he seems to be more hungry, coming out as more hungry for credit than actual substance on the ground. The proof of which is that we are as yet to see any evidence of a ceasefire actualizing between Iran and Israel on the ground. There has been a sustained volley of missiles from both the sides. The kind of standoff, military and kinetic engagement that we have seen over the last few days, a rollover of that continues. And Trump, because it seems that he has started believing in this fanciful idea that somebody planted in his mind that he's the man who should get the Nobel Peace Prize, just like Barack Obama did. And he perhaps believes strongly that he has done more than Barack Obama. So irrespective of whether things are actually happening on the ground, he's sort of trying to corner credit even before events happen. So in the case of India, the fact that the ceasefire happened essentially because Pakistan cried uncle, and it used the good offices of its American contacts to prevail upon India, which India obviously obliged. That does not mean that he was mediating. There is not a single phone call that happened between President Trump and Prime Minister Modi at any stage, or for that matter, President Trump and Asim Munir, at least during that period of India-Pak standoff. And for him to go ahead and take credit that, okay, fine, he got the... he was indulging in information arbitrage just because the Americans were involved in some kind of back-channel dialogue, just as the Saudis were involved, just as the Iranians were involved, just as the Emiratis were involved, and he sort of, jumped the gun and took credit. So it seems in this case also, Donald Trump indulging in typical information arbitrage and having a bit of an egg on his face, because both the sides, more so Israel, are not listening to him, and the two sides are continuing with their missile volleys. So it's a lesson for Trump. I don't know whether he would be interested, the American president. If he's not drawing the lessons, maybe he would be repeating them. But this admission, clearly a case of Donald Trump realizing that not everyone does what they tell him that they are going to do.
Absolutely. Abhishek, remember that early in the morning he also tweeted after just a couple of hours after when he announced that there is a ceasefire. He goes on to tweet that you'll have to listen to me. I am the President of the United States. What kind of statement is that? Abhishek. Okay, viewers, so this is the big breaking news coming in. We'll try and connect again with our executive editor over there. But Trump has made this statement where he has gone ahead and said that Iran will never rebuild its nuclear program. He said that he is not pleased with the way Israel and Iran have behaved. Also, he added that both Israel and Iran violated ceasefire. And this came after he was the first person to announce as to that there has been